Hey folks, and welcome back to another episode of your Brains Coach podcast. My name is Shurina. I'm your host, I'm your Brains Coach, and it is my job here to bring to you all the science and all the tools you can use so your brain works, so your brain does its best work instead of screwing up your best efforts, sometimes it seems like. And so you feel, look, and do your absolute best. Folks, as you already guessed from the title of this podcast, today we are talking about productivity and how to improve your productivity. And specifically, what I mean by productivity, I mean effectiveness. Getting the right things done and getting them in a way that doesn't waste unnecessarily your time and your brain power. And so at the end of the day, you end up with results and not fatigued and tired and burned out, having not really accomplished anything that feels meaningful, that moves the needle forward in whatever pursuit you are busy with today and every day, And Pomodoro and productivity apps, things like Notion, there is a bunch of them. And folks, why I'm not a fan of productivity apps? I don't use any. Well, I use, if you call it productivity app, Evernote, where I kind of structure my knowledge, put different things I encounter on the internet or in real life, where I put my ideas, where I then, review a lot of things, where I put my book notes. So I use that. And that is a part of my system to organize my own knowledge and my own thinking. Now, when it comes to productivity apps, they're kind of like cleaning system that you have. There is like Marie Kondo organizing your stuff at home and in life system. And it's kind of like that. So you have the system and it helps you to organize, to remove clutter. And now because of that, you know where to find your clothes, your jeans, your socks and everything. And you don't waste your time thinking about, okay, where is that? Where did I put that? I want to wear this, or I use this for my project and I can't find it anywhere in my house. Or where did I again put my keys, right? So the system of organizing things helps you to not waste your mental resources on that. And if you have a lot of clutter, it actually can be a lot of resources. So productivity apps are like that. They help you to put the stuff where it belongs, find it easy, and use it in a much more effective, straightforward way. And it doesn't add on your everyday's plate of, fatigue and exhaustion of having to deal with a lot of stuff, right? So in that sense, they help. Just like cleaning in your house helps. Now you know where your stuff is. Now you have the system of maintaining that. So you always know where your stuff is, where to find it when you need it. And, on a regular basis, you check in with this system and, Pomodoro technique, kind of like that. It helps you to organize your day. So you at least, you don't think about, should I work? Should I take a break? You have a system now. You work and you have a break. You work and you have a break. And these things will again help you to organize your time and your projects, if you know how to use them, if they're good systems, etc. But then beyond that, these tools will not help you to increase your focus, to increase your clarity, to help your nervous system to recover as you work, to be more effective while working. So you're less tired, less brain foggy, so you're less fatigued, you're less overwhelmed, and you do the right thing, and you spend, the needed amount of resources, no more. You don't waste any energy, and you focus. You get to it, you get it done fast, and then, you take a break, you move to the next thing. So these systems, these apps, they do not help you to use your nervous system better, the one that makes your brain, work. Your brain is a part of your nervous system. These apps do not teach you how to use your brain more effectively so you don't fatigue, you don't burn out. They don't teach you how to increase focus. They don't teach you how to increase clarity. They don't teach you how to position your brain in an environment where you become a better thinker. Other things do. So let's take Pomodoro technique. Yeah, it tells you, okay, this is when you work and, you put hopefully your phone away, etc. And this is when you rest. But it doesn't teach you, like, at least to my knowledge, the most effective for your nervous system, for your brain breaks. So you restore, recover some of that resources that you've just spent on doing the work. And so you recover, restore, and you can get into a new work bout more effectively. Also, Pomodoro technique doesn't really work with our brain's cycles. Our brain works in these 90-minute cycles throughout the day. They call them ultradian cycles, and throughout the night, they call them sleep cycles. So the Pomodoro technique doesn't take into account that. The Pomodoro technique doesn't take into account that in the first part of the day, your brain, because of your brain chemistry, all the molecules, neurotransmitters circulating there, is primed for more focused analytical work, right? And as the day goes by, you're less and less capable of those kind of tasks. Like, your morning is truly your prime time, whether you wake up a little bit later, a little bit earlier. And then in the afternoon, it's better for other kinds of tasks where you will be more effective. Pomodoro technique doesn't teach you that. Again, doesn't teach you the best kind of breaks that helps you to restore, recover while you work so you can accomplish more and you don't feel fatigued and burn out and you don't feel like you need to caffeinate and then screw up your sleep. What I'm getting to is some systems that we actually now aware of. Neuroscience teaches us, like, this is how your brain works and this is how to use it better, right? Wendy Suzuki, not famous but quite well-known neuroscientist from New York University. She's a book author. She did a lot of research on movement and brain health, brain productivity, brain effectiveness. For example, she talks about, two kinds of breaks that reduce your anxiety that might be interfering a lot with your productivity. If you're always having side anxious thought, it makes you a lot less effective, less confident. You're less likely to approach certain challenging tasks, or if you are, you'll be wasting your resources on that overthinking and very often setting yourself up for failure. So Wendy Suzuki suggested, for example, 2 most effective breaks to eliminate anxiety, and those actually most effective breaks to also restore your nervous system to help it recover so you can get after your work again and again and again. And those are breath work. And we talked in this podcast a lot about breath work, and those are movements. And then, of course, there is a lot of other research showing us that if you want to do stress and recover your brain and nervous system really fast, you want to spend time in nature, and it doesn't have to be a lot. Even picture on the wall with nature helps. So the Pomodoro technique, back to it, 5-minute break that you take between those bouts, 5-10 minutes, whatever you decide to take. If you spend it on social media, that's not going to work. That's not going to help your brain, your nervous system to recover, and you end up more and more and more tired. Now, of course, we get tired as the day goes by, but with social media, you get tired more. And plus, it increases your anxiety and distracting thoughts, not decrease them, right? So the right kind of breaks will actually help your brain to function better. And then you'll have more focus, and then you'll have more clarity, because your resources, the capacity of your brain to focus, it's actually quite a lot of work, increases as you take those breaks. Right, so Pomodoro technique and productivity apps will not teach you that. I would say, use productivity apps to declutter your stuff, and that's it. Don't expect them to be miracles, and don't look for another app. It's not going to do anything different. The second thing, right, that affects your productivity a lot is your notifications and your always, your state of your nervous system of always waiting for something, always on. And also because of that, you multitask, you switch tasks. And that research shows, a lot of neuroscientists write about that. When you task switch, first of all, humans do not multitask. We can only switch tasks and maybe run one task at our background because it's so habitual, and one while, we do something on autopilot, so to speak. So neuroscience research shows that we multitask, and every time you switch tasks, you spend resources, you spend some additional fuel, you spend some additional neurotransmitters, and those are also, the production of those is limited. And over the course of the day, if you check your phone, they say on average, I forgot how many 100 times people check their phone, sometimes even in thousands. If you add this up, and they say if you were in deep focus for 15-20 minutes and you got out of it because you decided to check notifications, and then it's going to take you another 15 minutes or so to get back to the same level of focus and brain effectiveness and deeper insights. So that's where you lose a lot of that productivity and you accumulate your fatigue. And then people would tell me, but Angela, I need to communicate with my teammates. No, you don't. Most of you do not work as, heart surgeon or something to be always on. Now, if you work for, let's say, customer support and you need to be on, now that I can understand. And you kind of have to, assume this is your work, and maybe hopefully you have some time for deep work in your schedule. But there is this thing, right now, especially with the world of remote work, asynchronous communication. And it doesn't only work for people in different time zones. It also works for people in the same time zone who understand that a normal human being, an effective or productive human being, cannot be by their phone with notifications all their time they're awake. So what it means is you tell people, okay, this is the time when I'm available if you want to discuss something. Or, you communicate, let's figure out the time when we're going to communicate with each other. And other than that, it's asynchronous communication. So you're in deep work, and when you have, some time, maybe, couple, 2-3 times per day, you check your email, you check your notifications, you check your messages, and you reply. And you just let people know that this is how you function. And you can also tell them that multitasking and switching and distractions actually makes your brain work worse, and you fatigue and you burn out and you get less done. Research says that people who are distracted and always multitasking and switching tasks accomplish on 50%. When they work on tasks, they make 50% more mistakes than people who just unitask. And then it takes them on average 50% longer to accomplish tasks. Now tell that to whoever is against this policy of asynchronous communication. If somebody, your superior, for example, is against that, then tell them that this being always on the phone or on the email or on the Slack channel, that actually makes you less effective, and that actually is stealing his money because he's paying your salary and expects you to be effective. Now, if they're truly interested in your productivity and the success of their company, and their company is made of teams and people working for the company, then they would have to agree it's in their interest to create a system of asynchronous communication where you connect to work on projects when you decide it, right? So, and then of course, where your phone is, for example, there is this brain drain effect, but you can even, I heard it from so many people, they already noticed that when the phone is by their desk, on their desk, somewhere by their computer, even if it's off, even if there are no notifications, they still are not able to concentrate on deep work, on reading, on studying, on working on any project as effectively as when the phone is somewhere, in their bag, somewhere when they leave it in their car, etc. So brain drain effect of your phone, it's real, folks. So Pomodoro and all the productivity apps will not teach you that. Well, maybe they will tell you, or maybe you should try this or that. But again, the most important thing, folks, is to learn from experts. And I did that. And that's why I'm so passionate about teaching it, is to learn from experts how your nervous system works, and then do the best job to organize your workflow, your tasks, your communication according to this knowledge. So what happens then? You use your resources, your brain, your nervous system in the most effective way. So you have this energy, your ability to focus, it's limited. And instead of wasting it all over the place on multitasking distractions and time when it's not best time to focus, that the task is taking you twice as long, in the afternoon than in the morning, for example, for most people. Then you have this knowledge. Now it's time to organize your workflow, and then all the productivity apps, they will shine. Now you feel like a superstar because you actually organized your workflow in alignment with the laws, so to speak, about how our brain works. And there is, again, a lot of neuroscience research about like what breaks to take, what cycles your brain works in, when is the best time to do what kind of work, in what environment, how to organize your distractions, how to, organize your unitasking and batching tasks so you make your brain more effective. And what happens is you accomplish tasks faster, with more focus, you have more clarity and more time, and then you can think about where you want to invest it, whether, good quality time with your loved ones or other side gigs, side project, your business, studies, etc. This clarity, peace of mind, getting things done. This is what actually happens when you put all of this in practice. And right now, folks, I'm offering free workshops, 2 companies, 2 teams. And in those workshops, I teach these things. Like, this is how you organize your workflow. Let's brainstorm how to do it on a company level, right? I also teach people about the best morning routine, or how much caffeine is good to increase focus, but to not make you jittery and anxious and make you crash and then wanting to get another coffee and screwing up your sleep, or what to have for breakfast and not to have for breakfast to make your brain a super effective machine, right? I teach this and a lot more. As more research and science is coming out, I teach all of these tools. And so, again, Pomodoro and all the productivity apps, they help kind of like cleaning. But beyond that cleaning, you will have to work on your workflow to make sure that it is aligned with the way your nervous system and your brain work. So you use the same resources. You and Elon Musk have the same capability to work and focus. And somehow he can go for decades working insane hours on his thing, and you barely get through your day and always feel like you're on the verge of burning out and on the verge of collapsing, right? There is a different way of doing things, and that's the only difference, folks. And now we have really good science and protocols based on it to show us, like, this is how it's the most effective way to use our brain. And if you don't, well, you're just living and losing a lot on the table. And so I'm doing workshops pro bono, free. I'm gathering testimonials and creating a lot more productive and effective people. So if you are interested, especially if you are in tech, especially if you have a remote and distributed team, if you're interested in increasing productivity, creating high performance workflow in your company based on neuroscience research, then get in touch, Angela at brainbreakthroughcoach.com, and we'll schedule it real fast, real soon. I'm all about, fast action. So if you're interested in your own effectiveness and productivity, also reach out, folks. And again, back to the idea, don't expect your productivity apps and Pomodoro technique to be more than cleaning. They are what they are. They help you to organize. Beyond that, don't expect miracles. And remember, as the most important takeaway, the best breaks, if you do use your Pomodoro technique and other time management systems, the best breaks, the ones also that reduce anxiety, that might interfere with a lot of things you do, the best breaks are breath work. Look up box breathing, very, very effective, very, very popular. And then also physiological sigh. Everything can be found on YouTube. And another kind of break, movement and nature. So dance a little bit, go for a walk in a park, an urban park, around your office. So movement and nature, even looking again at the picture of nature helps. So those are the most, plus the breath work and also yoga nidra, but that's more like if you have a couch, maybe a nap pod to lay down. So yoga nidra, look up that. It's a body scan, also very effective. So these are the tools for effective breaks that help your nervous system, your brain to recover. So then you restore some of those resources and can go really effectively at the task at hand. And you can accomplish more in the same hours. The organizing the productivity apps and Pomodoro by itself will not help you do that. The right kind of breaks will. And on that note, I'd like to finish this podcast. Reach out for high performance workflow, neuroscience-based workflow workshops. Angela at brainbreakthroughcoach.com. And don't forget, please, folks, to share this episode so people who are always frustrated with productivity apps stop wasting their time and actually do something that will give them the result that they're searching for. So share this, review, reach out for the workshops, and have an awesome weekend. Do something very restorative. Nature especially helps with that better than any other tool out there. And I'll talk to you very soon, folks. Stay for 5 Bullet Monday and all the brainy news.